Good morning. I welcome you all for this wonderful session. I am going to handle the subject ME 8501 Metrology and Measurements. In metrology and measurement, the first unit contains basics of metrology. Basics of metrology is nothing but we should know about the fundamentals of the metrology and measurements. In the first unit, we are going to discuss various topics. The first one is introduction to metrology. Introduction to metrology is nothing but what is meant by metrology and what is meant by measurement. Then what are the need of metrology and elements of metrology. Then what is the use of workpiece, instruments, persons, environment in the metrology and measurements. Then what is meant by precision and accuracy. Then what is meant by error. How we are going to find out the error in measurement. What are the types of errors. These are things we are going to study. Then what is meant by control and what is meant by standard and what are the types of standards. These are the entire thing we are going to study in the basics of metrology, and these things how we are going to use in the industry purpose. These are things we are going to study in the basics of metrology. Okay, what is my course outcome? Course outcome is nothing but by the end of this unit, what are the things we learned from this first unit. Here in first unit we are discussed about the standards of measurements, limits, fits and tolerances in the usage of industrial applications. Introduction to metrology. Okay, what is meant by metrology? We should know about what is meant by metrology. Metrology is nothing but the two words metro and logy, the two Greek words which is combined and it is derived as metrology. It is derived as metrology. The metro and logy which is combined and derived as metrology. So what is meant by metro? Metro is nothing but measurement. Metro means measurement and logy means science. So the combined metrology is named as science of pure measurement. Metrology is nothing but science of pure measurement. It is named as science of pure measurement. This metrology depends mainly on the measurement to find out the length, height or breadth of any particular element. Okay, then what are the other things need for metrology? Metrology demands pure knowledge of basic mathematical calculations and physical principles. Metrology needs the basic things of basic fundamentals of mathematical calculations and its physical principles. The physical principles of the particular element. Nowadays in industries, development largely depends on the engineering metrology. Engineering metrology is the basic thing of the particular industry for the development of that particular industry. Okay, the next topic is objectives of metrology. Okay, what is meant by objective? Objective is nothing but aim or goal. What is meant by aim? We should aim something about any particular project or object in future what it can be. We should think about that before itself. In future, what we are going to come, that is called as objective. Any particular project or object, what is, we should aim, what is the scope of this particular project in future, that is called as objective. Although here the basic objective of the measurement is to provide required accuracy at a minimum cost. The main objective of the metrology is nothing but the measurement is to provide required accuracy of a particular object at a minimum cost. And then nowadays in modern engineering plant, the objectives should vary according to the need of metrology. But the main objective is nothing but we should achieve the required accuracy at a minimum cost of the production. Okay, then the different objectives are as follows. The first one is complete evaluation of newly developed products. We should evaluate the newly developed product completely for the required achievement, or we should evaluate whether it is achieved the given dimensions or in the newly developed product. Then the second one is determination of the process capabilities and ensure that these are better than the relevant component tolerances. We should determine the process capabilities and make sure that these process capabilities are better than the relevant component tolerances. Relevant component tolerances, these process capabilities are better than that. We should make sure that about that. Then we should determine the third one is we should determine the measuring instrument capabilities, the instrument capabilities, and make sure these instruments are sufficient for their respective measurements. These instruments are used to check for the particular product's measurements. Then minimizing the cost of inspection by effective and efficient use of available facilities. By using the available facilities effectively and efficiently, we can minimize the cost of inspection. Then by using the application of statistical quality control techniques, we can reduce the rejection of a particular product or rework of a particular product. We can reduce by using the application of statistical quality control technique. Then the main objective of the metrology is to standardize the measuring methods. The main objective of the metrology is to standardize the measuring methods and to maintain the accuracy of a product or maintain the measurement by the given dimension. For the given dimension, the product should be maintain the accuracy of the measurement. Then to prepare designs for all gauges and special inspection fixtures. The objective of the metrology, the main objective of the metrology is to prepare designs for all gauges and special inspection fixtures. Then we Next, move on to the next topic, need of metrology. Need of metrology. The main tool for the scientific research is nothing but metrology. The importance of the metrology is nothing, the metrology is used as a tool for the scientific research. Okay, next move on to the second point. This is essential for solving almost all technical problems in the field of engineering. In the field of engineering, metrology is almost solving all the technical problems in engineering and also in production engineering and experimental design. These metrology is need in three different varieties, mainly in the field of almost all engineering problems. Then it is mainly in the production field and also in the designing field. Okay, for example, a design engineer should not check his design only from the point of view of strength or economical production. He should always keep in his mind how the dimensions specified can be checked or measured. He should always keep in his mind how the dimensions specified can be checked or measured. Then the third one is higher productivity and accuracy is called for the present manufacturing techniques. In the present manufacturing techniques, the higher productivity and accuracy is most important. This cannot be achieved unless the science of metrology is understood. We should understood the science of metrology, which means how we are going to measure the product or object. Then only we can get the higher productivity and accuracy in the manufacturing field. Okay, the next one is importance of metrology to achieve the quality control in production. Okay, how we are going to achieve the quality control in production? What is meant by quality control? Quality control is nothing but the system or the process which is maintaining the given dimensions. When we are going to manufacture some product, the standards of process and the dimensions are given which we are going to manufacturing some product according to the given dimensions. So the production must be manufacture of the product must be maintained according to the given dimensions. That is called as quality control. So we should maintain the given dimensions for the production, which is called as quality control. So we can achieve the quality control in production. Okay, next one is to achieve the up-to-date production knowledge of the measurement required. To achieve up-to-date production knowledge of the measurement required. Okay, how to achieve the up-to-date production knowledge of the measurement? The production knowledge of the measurement must be changed or vary according to the need of the job or production process. So we should up to date, or we should uh, know the proper we should get the proper communication, or proper knowledge of about the material or production job to maintain or achieve. We can get the measurement of the required product. To reduce rejection rate with the help of quality control. Okay, if we achieve the quality control in production, we can reduce the rejection rate of the particular product in the process. Then, to minimize the cost of production, by using the metrology effectively, we can reduce or minimize the production cost. Then, when we use the metrology properly, we can develop the inspection procedure for the particular product or in the industrial field applications. We can calibrate the measuring instrument time to time. When we check any object or product, we can check the product with the help of any instrument, but we should calibrate the instrument time to time before checking any object. If it is not in calibrate, it may produce some errors while we inspect any process. Next one is types of metrology. There are different types of metrology. One is scientific metrology, then second one is industrial metrology, third one is legal metrology, fourth one is fundamental metrology, fifth one dynamic metrology, and the last one is deterministic metrology. First one is scientific metrology, industrial metrology, legal metrology, fundamental metrology, dynamic metrology, and deterministic metrology. Okay, let's see the first one. What is meant by scientific metrology? It is nothing but it deals with the organization and development of measurement standards with their maintenance at the highest level. Scientific metrology is nothing but it deals with the organization and development of measurement standards and with their maintenance at the highest level. Scientific metrology always deals with the measurement standards for the development of organization and also the development of measurement, and it maintains at the highest level of these standards. Okay, next one is industrial metrology. It has to ensure a proper functioning of measuring instruments used in industry as well as in production and testing process. Okay, industrial metrology is nothing but we should make sure the proper functioning of the measuring instruments which is used in industry and which is used in production and testing process. Industrial metrology is nothing but we have to ensure the proper functioning of the measuring instrument which is used in industry and production and also in testing process. Then what is meant by legal metrology? It is concerned with the accuracy of measurements where these measurements have an influence on the transparency of economical transaction. Legal metrology is concerned with the accuracy of measurement. It is the legal metrology which always concern the measurements accuracy where these measurements have an influence on the transparency of economical transaction. For example, the volume of petrol or diesel purchased at a pump. The volume of petrol or diesel purchased at a petrol bulk, or the weight of pre-packaged grocery. The main example for this legal metrology, we should find out the volume of petrol or diesel purchased at the petrol bulk. When we go to the petrol bulk to purchase 1 liter petrol or 2 liter petrol, we should check at the meter whether the petrol bulk worker put 1 liter particular petrol in our petrol tank. Likewise, while we purchased a grocery in a pre-packaged grocery in a shop, we should check the weight whether it is concerned with the accuracy of the particular weight. So it maintains, the legal metrology should always maintains the accuracy of the particular measurement. Legal metrology has some applications also. One is industrial measurement, then commercial transactions, and public health and human safety ensuring. Legal metrology applications are nothing but industrial measurement, commercial transactions, public health and human safety ensuring. In industrial measurement, the legal metrology is mainly used to ensuring the accuracy of the measurement. Likewise, in commercial transactions, while we use in debit card or credit card, the commercial transactions should be always in a legal way. The particular amount or particular thing or should be maintained according to the process need. Likewise, also public health and human safety. We should always ensure that the public's health and human safety should be in a legal way for the development of the concerned. Okay, next one is fundamental metrology. What is meant by fundamental metrology? It is a scientific metrology supplemented by those parts of legal and industrial metrology. It is nothing but, fundamental metrology is nothing but a scientific metrology supplemented by those parts of legal metrology and industrial metrology that require scientific competence. Fundamental metrology is a supplemented part of the legal metrology and industrial metrology. Okay, next one, dynamic metrology. It is a technique of measuring small variations of a continuous nature. Dynamic metrology is nothing but, it is a technique of measuring small variation of a continuous nature. While we measure some product continuously, the output measurement should be varied slightly, then it is called as dynamic metrology. The technique has proved a very valuable measurement. This dynamic metrology technique is a very valuable measuring technique. This dynamic metrology technique has developed to electronically operated and controlled equipment, computer design systems for online monitoring, laser and fiber optics based instruments, etc. This type of dynamic metrology has developed a lot from the previous metrological issues. It is developed a lot, and it is always maintained in a auto operated systems, and it is maintained with the help of a digital way. Likewise, online monitoring, we can monitor online, and computer aided, we can manufacture product with the help of a computer systems, and auto operated controlled equipment. Automatically the operations should be controlled by a particular equipment. Then it is called as with the help of a technique called dynamic metrology. A record of continuous measurement over a surface. For particular objects should be monitored or controlled or monitored continuously, and some of the variations are registered. Then it is called with the help of a dynamic technique called dynamic metrology. And the last one is deterministic metrology. It is a new philosophy in which a part measurement is replaced by a process measurement. Deterministic metrology is a new philosophy which a part measurement is replaced by a process measurement. The new techniques such as 3D error compensation by CNC systems and expert systems are applied, leading to a fully adaptive control. Deterministic metrology is a new philosophy which a part measurement is replaced by a process measurement. These technique which measured a particular product or object with the help of a CNC systems, which means computer numerical control systems, are applied to find out the proper inspection on a particular project. It is a very high precision manufacturing machinery to find out the particular section or dimension of a particular project. The manufacturing machinery and control system to achieve micro technology and nanotechnology accuracies. While we using this developed metrology, deterministic metrology, we can find out the measurement with the help with the technology named as micro technology and nanotechnology. The errors should be reduced very clearly, and we can find out the accuracy of the particular object or product. The next topic is measurement. What is meant by measurement? The measurement is nothing but it is a comparison of a given unknown quantity with one of its predetermined standard value adopted as a unit. Okay, suppose we took one square object is produced After the production, we don't know the perfect value. According to the given standard values, we produce this square object. After the production, we are going to check this object and we are going to compare the object with the predetermined standard value or the given dimension. We are going to compare this object's values with the given dimensions, which is called as measurement. It is a complex of operations carried out by means of measuring instruments to determine the numerical value of the size describes the object of measurement. It is a complex of operations carried out by means of measuring instruments. The measurement is an operation which carried out with the help of the measuring instrument to find out the numerical value of the object. To find out the numerical value of the object. Okay, the next one is elements of measurement system. In elements of measurement system, there are three main elements are there. One is measurand, next one is reference, and the third one is comparator. What is measurand? It is a physical quantity or property such as length, angle, dia, and thickness are to be measured. It is the unknown quantity to be measured. Measurand is nothing but it is a physical quantity or property. Measurand is nothing but it is a physical quantity or property such as length, angle, dia, thickness, etc. are to be measured. For a square object, we can find out the length, height, then thickness of the square object. If it is an angular, we can find out the angle of the object also. So the measurand is nothing but we can measure the unknown quantity or unknown values of the particular object. Then what is meant by reference? The unknown quantity is compared with the available standard quantities such as length, mass, and time to produce a result. Reference is nothing but it is the particular object's quantity is unknown, but we can compare the values of the particular object with the standard quantities or standard given dimensions of the particular object to produce a result. To get the output of the particular object, we can compare with the standard quantities or standard values of the particular object. Then next one is comparator. It means of comparing measuring measurand with reference measurand. We can find out the output value with the help of the comparing the measurand with the reference. Okay, the measurand is nothing but the measured the particular object to find out the unknown value. A reference is nothing but the value which is predetermined for the particular object. Comparator is nothing but the values should be compared with measurand and reference. The unknown value should be compared with the reference value. Then next is need for measurement. Where we are going to use this measurement and what is the need for measurement. The main need for measurement is to determine the true dimensions of a part. When we take one object, we should check the object with instruments to find out the original output dimensions of the particular part. We should determine the original dimensions of the particular part. The second one is to increase our knowledge and understanding the world. The need for measurement is to increase our knowledge. Measurement, which is increase our knowledge and understanding the world for the dimensions should be checked according to the international standard views. Then third one is to evaluate the performance of a system. The measurement is to evaluate the performance of a system. We should evaluate the performance of a system means we should check whether the measuring instrument is in a proper working condition or not. We should check the measuring instrument whether it is working in a proper condition or not. Okay. The next one is to convert physical parameters into a meaningful numbers. With the help of measurement, we can convert the physical parameters, which means for length, dia or height, width or thickness of a particular object should be converted into a meaningful numbers or the numerical values. Okay, the last one is to evaluate the response of the system to a particular part. We can find out the system which is working at which point. The response of the system or the measuring instrument or the machine give some proper response to us at which point. Which point means the measured time or value or anything we can evaluate easily with the help of measurement. Okay, the next topic is methods of measurements. What are the methods we are used for getting the measurements? The methods of measurement can be classified as 10 different methods. The first one is direct method. The next one is indirect method, absolute or fundamental method, comparative method, transposition method, coincidence method, deflection method, complementary method, method of measurement by substitution, and method of null measurement. Method of null measurement. Okay, the next heading is methods of measurement. Here we are going to study about the methods which we are going to use to find out the measurements. It can be classified as the below 10 methods. The first one is direct method. The first one is direct method. The next one, indirect method. Then absolute or fundamental method, comparative method, transposition method, coincidence method, deflection method, complementary method, then method of measurement by substitution, and the last one is method of null measurement. Okay, first one, direct method of measurement. It is nothing but the value of the quantity, or which means the value of the object to be measured is obtained directly without necessity of carrying out supplementary calculations based on functional dependence of the quantity to be measured in relation to the quantities actually measured. It is nothing but direct method is nothing but the parameter, which means the object which is directly compared to a standard parameter or standard object with the help of calibrated systems without any calculations, which means we can get the output from the calibrated systems without any calculation. We get the output of the object without any calculations, then it is called as direct method. We can get the output value of the particular object without any calculations. We can get the output value. It is called as direct method. Some of the instruments we are going to get the output value is measurement by scales. The normal scale, we can get the measurement directly from the object. Then vernier calipers, micrometers for linear measurement, bevel protectors for angular measurement. These are the instruments directly we can get the value from the object. Then indirect method. The value of the quantity is obtained from measurements carried out by direct method of measurement of other quantities connected with the quantity to be measured by a known relationship. The particular object value to be measured is obtained by other measured quantities, other measured values, or other measured objects which are functionally related to the required value, which means the value that we get from the output of a particular object which is functionally related to the required value, the value which is get from the object which is normally related to the required value of the substance. For example, here weight of a substance is measured by measuring the length, breadth and height of the substance directly, and then by using the relation. So the simple thing is the output of the particular measurement can get the value with some calculations or some formulas. We get the value of the particular object, then it is called as indirect method. Some of the indirect method instruments are angle measurement by sine bar. We get some angular measurements with the help of sine bar and getting some calculations for that output value with the help of to find out the particular object's value, then it is called as indirect method. Measurement of shaft power by dynamometer. We can get the shaft power with the help of dynamometer and then some calculations for the output value. Then measurement of discharge of fluid using venturimeter. In venturimeter, the discharge of fluid, we can't find out the value instantly or measurement instantly. We can get the flow of fluid in the venturimeter with the calculations, then only we can find out the output value. The next one is absolute or fundamental method. It is based on the measurement of the base quantities used to define the quantity. The absolute method or fundamental method is based on the measurement of the base quantities used to define the quantity. For example, measuring a quantity directly in accordance with the definition of the quantity. Link with the definition of quantity to be measured. The measuring quantity directly in accordance with the definition of the quantity. So, the measurement of the base quantity which is used to define the quantity. For the particular object's measurement which is define the quantity power. So we can find out the output value by measuring a quantity and compare with the fundamental measurement that we get from the direct measurement of the particular object's quantity. Then we can find out the measurement. The next one is comparative method. In this method, the value of the quantity to be measured is compared with the known value of the same quantity or other quantity particularly related to it. So in this method, only the deviations from the master gauge are determined. Example, dial indicators or other comparators. The value of the quantity to be measured is compared with the known value of the same quantity. Suppose we took one object, we measure the value of the object, then we compare the value with the known value of the same quantity, which means square product is measured and find out the output of the square product. Then the same particular square product, another square product, for that square product we know the value of the square product. Then we can compare the values of both the products. We can compare the value of both the products. So in this method, only the deviations from master gauge are determined. some in this method there is some deviations uh, can come with the comparators or any other dial indicators. Some small slight deviations are there. Then next one is transposition method. Transposition method. It is a method of measurement by direct comparison in which the value of the quantity is measured first balanced by an initial known value A of the same quantity, then the value of the quantity measured is put in place of this known value and is balanced again by another known value B. If the position of the element indicating equilibrium is the same in both cases, the value of the quantity to be measured is AB. For example, determination of a mass by a means of a balance and known weights using the Gauss double beam. For transposition method, balancing weights equipment is the only example. In balancing weighing machine, in one balancing place, the unknown weight is placed on the A quantity, and in B quantity the equal amount of weight is placed in the B quantity. If it is equilibrium, then we can know the value of the unknown quantity, which is equal to the known quantity. In A section, the unknown weight is placed, and in B section, known weight is placed. If it is in equilibrium, the value of B is equal to the value of A, or value of A is equal to the value of B. If it is not in equilibrium, there must be a slight changes until it indicating equilibrium, then only we can find out the known value. Then next one is coincidence method. It is a differential method of measurement in which a very small difference between the value of the quantity to be measured and the reference is determined by the observation of the coincidence of certain lines or signals. For example, measurement by Vernier caliper and micrometer. In this coincidence method, the value of the quantity to be measured is replaced. In this coincidence method, very small difference between the value of the quantity to be measured and the reference value. In this coincidence method, very small difference between the value of the quantity to be measured and the reference is determined. When we using Vernier caliper or a micrometer, with the help of any other instrument, we should find out the value of any other product. We know the reference value of the particular product. If we measure that particular product, should know the value, the reference value and this known value of the product should be compared, and there must be a very small difference between the two values. For that purpose, we should coincide the measurement system to equate the value of the particular product. Then it is called as coincidence method. Then deflection method. In this method, the value of the quantity to be measured is directly indicated by a deflection of a pointer on a calibrated scale. The dial indicator or boron tube pressure gauge are some of the examples of the deflection method. The due to the pressure measurement, in the pressure measurement, due to the pressure of some input, the dial indicator or dial pointer, which should be moved on the dial indicator, the pointer which is moved over the calibrated scale. At some point it should be stopped on a particular point. Then we can find out the value of the particular pressure. It may be deflected due to the input pressure. The output value should be deflected in the pointer scale. Then we can find out the output value. Then complementary method. In this method, the value of the quantity to be measured is combined with the known value of the same quantity. The combination is so adjusted that the sum of these two values is equal to the predetermined comparison value. For example, determination of the volume of a solid by liquid displacement. Some product value or object value is measured is combined with the known value of the same quantity. The object value is measured and find out the value of the object, and that value is compared with the known value of the same quantity. The combination is so adjusted that the sum of these two values, the sum of these known value and measured value, is equal to predetermined comparison value. This known value and measured value, the addition of the known value and the measured value is the combination of these two values is equal to the predetermined comparison value. For example, determination of the volume of a solid by liquid displacement. Then method of measurement by substitution, which is called a substitution method. It is a method of direct comparison in which the value of the quantity to be measured is replaced by a known value of the same quantity. So selected that the effects produced in the indicating the y's by these two values are the same. It is also a method of direct comparison in which the value of the quantity to be measured is replaced by a known value of the same quantity. While we get the value of some of the object or product, after getting the value, the measured value is replaced by the known value of the same quantity. The measured value is replaced by the known value of the same quantity. So that the selected value show that the effects produced in the indicating device by these two values are the same. So this replacement gave some effects on the indicating device. Then the value of the indicating device by these two values are the same, a type of a direct comparison of in the particular object. Then method of null measurement. It is a method of differential measurement. In this method, the difference between the value of the quantity to be measured and the known value of the same quantity with which it is compared is brought to zero. The null measurement is nothing but the method the difference between the value of the quantity, the measured value of the product and the known value of the same product with which it is compared. When we compare these two values, the values finally come into 0. The measured value and the known value, while we compare these both values, the output of the value is both values is 0. Then it is called as null measurement.